All right, clinical research circlers, welcome back. Thank you to our small but growing but loyal fan base. I gotta say though, you know what, guys? This is like a discussion we should have had with Monica and Dr. Al. But from the three main channels we have, okay, my guru one, LICR, and Circle. This one by far, not even close, by far gets the most thumbs down to thumbs up ratio. We still have much higher thumbs up than thumbs down, but by far, like way more thumbs down.
Like,
I
do they
don't know
That's
call that
why.
funny.
being ratioed?
It's a ratio, thumbs down to thumbs up ratio, or a
Yeah,
dislike to like
but they
Well,
call
ratio.
because
that ratioed, right? We're being ratioed.
Oh, ratio. I don't know. I don't know. But we gotta improve. We gotta improve. Don't worry, guys. Even if you thumbs down or thumbs up, it
we
doesn't matter.
appreciate you watching.
And we're not going anywhere. We'll just keep doing it. So we got plans. I wrote them down if you don't believe me. Ask Chris and Ashley. All right, so we got a good one today. This one better get a lot of likes. You guys need to because this is from the comments. We also give a lot of comments, a lot more comments on here than LICR at least.
Are they
Uh,
negative comments?
no,
Are they
no, they're
positive?
usually positive. Just the thumbs down are negative. That's it. So the comments are usually like, "Hey, look at this stock next. Look at this one next." So
So
you guys do thumbs up. This is one of those.
I
Look
have
at
a I
look
have
at
a
Red
request,
Hill
Ian.
next. Yes.
I have a request. So you can pin a comment at the top, right, in the comment section.
Yeah.
You should ask for those who are going to give me a thumbs down, why?
All
Oh
right.
God,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, I want to know why. Who is it they dislike and why?
Should we give your email address?
No, just put it on the YouTube comment section.
Okay, put
Well,
it
but
in
think
there.
about it. We're not when we talk about some of our stuff. Most of the things that we cover or that we say is that we're not really going to invest yet. So we could probably be getting a lot of these fan fan
Other
Yes.
bases or
companies.
whatever,
I
and they're
think a
getting
lot of the
upset.
dislikes are fanboys and
Yeah,
fangirls. I don't know if you could say fanboys anymore, but fans that thumbs down because we're not all in on whatever, we maybe said something negative at one
we're
point.
not mooners.
Or not mooners, only Doge, only for
Only
Doge.
those.
So anyways, let's get into this one. All right, this is interesting. I think it's popular. I think it has some chatter. I think it actually has potential too. I don't own it. I don't think Chris and Ashley do either.
Mm-mm.
Drug candidate holds promise for treating breathing related symptoms caused by COVID. This is actually needed because we're in a time right now where the Delta variant's, raging, and the vaccines is like not efficacious. I mean, who knows? There's all this stuff going on. So it's a pill. And while the vaccines against COVID may have helped turn the corner, large number of people around the world are still unvaccinated and continuing to contract and suffer from COVID. So, moreover, new variants are emerging. Right now, it's Delta. Who knows what it's going to be 6 months from now? And we cannot be sure that vaccine will protect us from all of them. Treatment against COVID remains critical. So, this is a
This is
treatment. This one Chris likes. Chris likes the treatments.
Yes, I was just about to go into that. So as there's new variants, and the vaccines no longer work for those variants, most likely I would assume the treatment still will, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I think
Yeah,
treatments are vastly more important than the vaccines.
I agree.
m-
I like
My personal opinion.
more treatment approach.
So, according to Cheryl Robel, uh, the Israeli drug company RedHill Biopharma has produced a promising new COVID therapy that is now finishing up its trial. So, before we get further into it, let me go show you guys. This is what we like. Okay, market cap 339 million, right in our like sweet range.
Hmm.
Um, all-time high looks like, let's see. Well, October 2016, it was like in the 13, almost 14. In the last year, it's been as high as almost 11. Right now, it's at $7.27. Uh, and so yeah, that's why we like this size company. Delta variants are scaring everyone, and more people are nervous. Vaccines are less and less effective. The need for therapeutics is strong now as it's ever been, and this is an Israeli company trading on the Nasdaq here. The drug called opaganib, anti-inflammatory and antiviral, so it works on both the cause and the effects of COVID.
That's cool.
And it's an oral agent, easier and faster to dispense than an injection. Goldberg added, he's the chief business officer. A lot of the drugs out there really only work on inflammation or on the virus. Both aspects need to be addressed. Rather than attacking the virus, the drug enters the cell of the patient's body, keeping the virus out of the cell so that it cannot reproduce. It is thus nonspecific towards different strains of the virus and expected to be active against new variants. Our dream is that we meet primary endpoint, which is having patients weaned off oxygen. The virus mutates, so there are changes in the virus by protein, and the drug might be less effective because now the target is changed. So it might have been effective against earlier variants. Opaganib was tested in late stage phase 2-3 double blind trials, 475 patients suffering from pneumonia. After 2 weeks of therapy, patients with severe COVID infections who had been receiving oxygen were able to leave the hospital.
Oh wow.
According to William Severson, director of Shared Resources, the results we have seen are exciting. They provide further evidence in support of opaganib's antiviral capabilities and highlight opaganib's potential as an orally administered treatment for COVID. Uh, Without opaganib, you would expect about a third of them to progress onto mechanical ventilation. So the fact that all of them were discharged is a very good response. So
Awesome.
this is just compassionate use, but it's anecdotal. Uh,
So the other concern is that it may only be efficacious for the alpha variant, as it stated like 4 paragraphs ago. Another concern. They need to do some testing with Delta or one of the other 20 different
Lambda,
variants.
yeah, sure.
yeah, but they're saying like the scientists behind there are saying it doesn't matter which variant.
No, didn't it say like 4 paragraphs ago that something about the target is moving because they're right here?
Yeah, the virus mutates, so there are changes in the virus. Yeah, but this is what the vaccine they're talking about.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay, okay.
I was looking
That's
at Ashley's picture of her dog. Very cute. So I was only half listening to that part.
no, because here it says, look, where was it? On the other hand, if you only address the virus, rather than attacking the virus, the drug enters the cell, keeping the virus out of the cell so it cannot
Oh, okay.
reproduce. It is thus non-specific towards different strains of the
Oh,
virus.
that's awesome. Wow.
Hmm.
I'm
Yes.
I'm already
So,
sold. I'm buying some shares just to back my opinion that this is
really?
much more important than vaccines.
That's a leading indicator for bullish. I don't know.
I
We
mean,
got to look at your track record.
I would say bullish in a sense of the fact that, like, hospitals obviously, because at the moment, right, they're not mandating vaccines everywhere, but I do know that they are pushing for vaccines. So I don't know if like therapies would be highly promoted outside of hospital use compared to the vaccine.
Like outpatient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I
Emerging
mean.
data showing variants are capable of evading vaccines' effects. Not only does this threaten efforts to control, we can now concentrate on getting all the data collected, cleaned, and collated in the database. So given its potential to be a game changer in the treatment of COVID, so the study looks like it's over. Now they're just getting all the data collected in a
Mhm,
database ready for analysis and subsequent reporting. This means we
mhm.
are weeks away from knowing if we are a step closer to having a paradigm shifting oral therapy for hospitalized COVID patients.
Oh
So,
wow.
If you look at StockTwits, they're also
so
excited.
what phase is that
Oh,
study that they just
tomorrow.
completed?
Phase 2-3/3.
Okay. So
So
we
So
still
this
have to
is
tomorrow,
do a 3.
yeah, this guy's saying tomorrow this will blow up again, $7.50. That's not
so how
really
much is
blowing up.
the cost right now at the moment, like per stuff?
727. So that's not a blowing up. Some good Friday news tomorrow would be great. Let's see what
Would
the
be.
commenters say. Do you know what's the median or average time for a phase trial to be evaluated? Maybe 2 months, 4 weeks almost. Within 2 weeks, I would say. I do know from talking to all these CEOs over the last year of biotechs, FDA is prioritizing anything COVID and also anything rare disease. Those are the two things they're prioritizing. So
Yep.
they are definitely prioritizing this.
Wow.
Uh, it will probably take 4 weeks. And this article, we posted this article on Latinos in Clinical Research August 9th. So not that long
Oh.
ago, but I think I actually got this submitted to me like a week or two before. Guys, sorry. All right. You caught me lagging a
falling
little.
falling off
Uh,
the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, enough of that. Enough of my lagging. So let's see in the pipeline. We've got other things in the pipeline because the company is not just about COVID. I mean, that's the thing I like about this company. It's pivoted obviously to do something with COVID, like a lot of companies have. But they have a couple of things in the pipeline. So let's see what they have here.
What what's their symbol?
RDHL.
RDHL. All right, thank you.
So they've got RedHill's pipeline of late-stage proprietary development program include multiple phase 3 and phase 2 programs targeting GI disease, oncology, and infectious disease. Um, they have. I'm trying to get to the development pipeline. Here we go. They've got preclinical. Let's look at the stuff in phase 3. Crohn's disease. Positive top-line results from phase 3 for Crohn's, positive results from phase 3 in GI IBSD, which is irritable bowel syndrome diarrhea, positive result phase 2. Bowel cleanser phase 2 3 studies planned. Oncology indications and COVID for Yaliva, ongoing phase 2 and 3. And that's one they're using. This is the same one, actually, we read the article on opaganib. They're
Hmm.
using it for oncology indications as well. And then a new one, upamostat, for COVID, GI, and oncology. So we only read an article about one of the
But it,
indications.
they seem to be focused on gastro,
Yes.
and we know another physician, Dan, quite
Oh, I
well.
know. We should have had her on today
That
Yeah,
as a
I should
sub.
have.
We should have had her as a sub for Dr. Al, but she would have just talked
of
about her company the whole time.
course, but
Yeah,
she truly believes that treatment for COVID lies in the gut.
lies in the gut.
She
I mean,
has
for most,
confirmed that.
well, for most things, they do say there's a good amount of research out there stating that your gut microbiome is like linked to your health, right? So,
Oh yeah,
I mean, oncology and infectious disease makes sense.
yep.
So they've got like 71 pages of this presentation. So let's go through some of it. An emerging U.S. specialty biopharm company. There's the symbol RDHL, primarily focused on commercialization, U.S. commercialization and development of drugs for GI and infectious diseases. Strong U.S. commercial footprint with multiple near-term milestone. These are the drugs that they have. So they have emerging U.S. specialty pharma select programs: Talicia, H. pylori, Movantik, opioid-induced constipation in adults with chronic non-cancer pain. Those are already on the market. And then Ameclo, traveler's diarrhea caused by non-invasive strains of E. coli. So those are already approved. The ones that are going to move the stock are going to be Crohn's, GI. They already had positive results for that. So this one with COVID, opacanib is the next catalyst, which like any day or week now, we're gonna get results from that phase 2 3 study. So this is their pipeline. Can you guys see this? This is the
Yes.
three they have. The other one, a leading U.S. specialty pharmaceutical. Financial highlights: market cap approximately 333. Cash balance as of March 21, 92 million,
Mm.
which is good. The CEO we talked to on Monday, Chris, he said they have 33 million, but they only have like one study going on, I think.
Yeah.
This is what they just finished the. Well, they actually, do they have any ongoing phase 2 3 for oncology? Is ongoing, and then ongoing phase 2 3 for
Two.
GI and oncology. So they have two studies going on, one more planned, and then positive results. So they're planning with the FDA what to do next for those ones. So they're gonna need that cash. Um, Red Hill quarterly revenue slightly down this quarter, but not by much from quarter 4 with the sales.
Can you
Highly
scroll back up?
experienced, yeah,
Can you scroll back up to revenue? So they don't generate a lot of revenue, 20 million. So 80
quarter,
million a
yeah,
year.
quarter 4, yeah. Quarter 4, yeah. So the sales are like stable or flat. They call that
Well,
flat.
that could be a good investment in terms of you're probably not going to lose anything if you're investing, say, in this treatment for COVID.
Sure. I mean, we got to get under the hood and see when patent protection expires and all that.
Sure.
But I don't know anything about that, but leadership team, for you guys on the circle and for Guru Nation, go hit up all these people on LinkedIn. Okay, tell them you watched the show. There are three, well, two crazy guys on the circle on YouTube, and then one female who's like a chart expert, off the
Wait.
chart. Her brain is off the
I was
charts.
like, who are
She's
you
not
talking about?
crazy?
Not crazy. It's
She's
all
not
good.
crazy. No,
Well, why
only
are
you
we
and
crazy and
we're
she's not?
crazy.
I know.
We're absolutely crazy. Ashley's not crazy.
Flip it.
Okay, fair
Advisory
enough.
board, commercial operations, strong U.S. presence. All right, so we're gonna skip through a lot of these. So they're gonna talk about the ones that they already have approved. So let's go through. I mean,
Okay,
this is
cool.
a great. They got a lot. They got a lot for 333 million market cap. So they're talking about H. pylori,
I'm wondering.
Talicia.
I'm wondering if that revenue. I mean, because I haven't necessarily looked into this specific PowerPoint and like gone back to check, but I'm wondering if that revenue is considering like after and mind me, I forget the terminology, but sometimes companies, when they get specific revenue, they can also put that money towards reinvesting back into their company. So I'm
Oh,
wondering if
like buying
that's
shares.
no, no, not buying shares.
I
Where
think she's asking, is it gross or net, right? After expenses?
no, 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 not that. Again, like I forgot the terminology, but it's when you evaluate the stock, when you're looking at like the overall like money that the company's bringing in. There's also a section, and I need to look it up, but I forgot the terminology, but it pretty much shows the revenue, but then after revenue or how much of that revenue they actually go back to reinvesting in the
Oh, I
company.
see.
Whether
Oh, in the pipe.
yeah,
Yeah, the problem with the like doing this now for like about 6 months, maybe 8 months, where we're like analyzing stocks.
hmm
We're always analyzing these smaller stocks, like under a billion market cap. This
yeah,
this one's well under a billion. The problem with these companies at this stage is that they dilute shareholders because when they run out of money, they issue warrants or they dilute, like they do stock splits. They dilute shareholders. That's the problem with a lot of these companies. Like, I might get a bunch of haters here, but KMPH, Chem Farm. This is why the stock's like not taking off, because they keep doing this kind of stuff.
hmm
Warrants being exercised, stock options for key employees. That's the problem. That's the risk you take with these kind of companies. But that usually happens on companies that don't have revenue yet. This one actually has revenue, so hopefully, and this is why I like StockTwits, because these are like the bag holders here. No matter what company you look at, it's bag holders, and they're, if you want to hear complaints, they're going to be complaining about different things. Like if you want to see what I'm talking about with Chem Farm, just go to KMPH and you'll see tons of people complaining about, well, why are we being diluted? All this stuff. Earnings here still waiting. Look, this guy's patiently waiting still for the stock to bounce. Last patient out of study on 19th, and they said up to 6 weeks for results. So maybe a few more weeks, right? This was out of the study on July 19th, because right now it's August 12th as of the time of this video. Let's pray for news. This has a lot of chatter because this is only from yesterday. Like all this scrolling, and it's only from yesterday. So this is a lot, like this is a big community, or an interested community around this particular drug. Opaganib, first in class orally administered sphingosine kinase 2 inhibitor targeting multiple oncology, inflammatory, and GI indications. This is what they have. Cholangiocarcinoma, that's the cancer study. And then the COVID phase 2-3 study complete. Positive top line data from US phase 2 study for COVID 19. Enrollment of global phase 2-3 study completed and positive top line data. So I guess they're waiting for all the data now to come in, not just the top line, the safety and efficacy, or
Do we
efficacy and
do we have
safety.
a date as to when like the next update will be released as far as
No,
like
that's what they're speculating here. Like
Couple
maybe in the
weeks.
next few weeks. The coming COVID results are of a pivotal trial with control arm versus their drug. News bought this AM. Let's see, news. This guy said news question mark, and they said what? So it's very very insightful thread. Bought this AM. Am totally a long term holder. RDHL. Oh, here's for Ashley. I like watching the 5 and 13 moving averages on the weekly chart. Chart looks great to me. Good luck to all. So I don't know, Ashley. What do you think? What do you see
I
here?
I mean, you can already see right there the lines, right? They're not within like the markers. So 5 and 13, I don't feel they're as accurate. I think the 20 and the 50 EMA moving
in
averages are
the
the best.
200.
No, 50 and 20 EMA. So this guy has it in 5 and 13.
Yeah,
So
5 and 13.
I think what I mean, yeah, I don't. Some you have traders out there. Some of them that are either scalpers and stuff like that. I don't know if this guy's a scalper, but
Ashley
a
just
girl.
called you a scalper. So take up
No.
any complaints with her. Total bloodbath. Wait, okay. Unfortunately, the real hurdle for the stock price is the CEO board because they are so eager to dilute and destroy. See, I'm telling you guys,
Mm,
this is the problem with these companies: dilute and destroy the current shareholder value. That even with great news, it's not possible for the smart investors to buy the stock, and all you can see it from the stock price movement. The company is dumb enough to announce the good news on Friday after hours, and then on Sunday follow up with huge dilution news. I hope I'm wrong this time. So
dang.
there's Bear, the new Friday and dilution on Sunday got me. Most COVID related stocks with products not even close to phase one run up 200 to 1,000%, but RDHL has failed to move in the last 18 months, even coming so close to a breakthrough treatment. And the reason is the CEO board who has done everything to destroy shareholder value. We should have this guy on the show.
Yeah, you're
Funny.
making me rethink my. I was thinking of
Yeah.
purchasing a few hundred
You
shares.
just
I'm
buy,
rethinking it
Chris?
now.
Did you just buy?
We still don't know why they issued two back-to-back offerings. See, I'm telling you, with these, I've followed it enough to know that's where the science could be great, the news great. Well, when they start diluting, it's bad. And that, quite honestly, that's a part of this that I don't understand much either. All I know is they need to raise money and they run out
But
of cash.
okay, so yeah, let's get into that for just a moment because
Well, I
I'm
don't
dumb
know
in this
much of
regard.
anything about it.
Well, maybe Ashley does. Maybe Ashley can
We
help me.
do have viewers who are experts on this, so if you're a viewer,
So,
I need to
Should
interview
bring
you
them
on here.
on.
well,
Yes.
if the shares split, yeah, that's diluting. But at the same time, if your stock drops 50% in value, you didn't lose anything, right? Because you now have two instead of one or whatever
Right.
the ratio is, right?
But they're
So
saying they're
that doesn't seem
combining that with good news. That's the problem.
right. But I don't see
Yeah.
a problem with splitting shares, right? Because
Well,
yeah, maybe the
I think it's more the fact that they're the whole point of buying it is because they're seeing the potential to gain, right? And then they go and split it. So yeah, they're not necessarily losing, but
but that doesn't hurt the shareholder.
well, yeah, but then I guess it also comes down to what kind of, investors these people are. Are they short-term investors? Are they long-term investors? A
This
lot.
comment made me laugh
What
right
do you think?
here about the board. Lack of confidence and passing on the risk. The dummy proof. I talked about this many times. Micah is a 2-bit accountant. Guy is a kid that misses home. Drawer is a failed investment banker. And Riza is a late bloomer. Zero confidence. Wow, I love stock twits, man. You guys are something else. Somebody up from RDHL, I'm gonna post this link in here. I know all you guys watch it. Make sure you like it. But somebody who knows about dilutions and what's particularly about this company, come on, we'll do a video. We'll have you guys on. Ashley and Chris, especially Chris, gonna pick the hell out of your brain. So he's really gonna prove if you know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just saying I don't see how splits hurt you, right? I mean, I don't know if there's some other thing that's going on that can hurt
Throw
you.
all shade Chris's way, guys.
Yeah, sure. I
Can't see
mean,
below 7, but there'll be a few more shakeouts before this
Oh my God.
drops. Let's try
very
this
cute,
one.
very very cute.
And
You
it
like that,
drops
Ashley?
on good news.
Funny.
So top line results just around the corner. Okay, so they on the presentation they already announced the top line results.
Mhm.
Enrollment positive top line results, and this is from like August 11th. So I don't know. What I guess that was the top line results of what's going to happen because everybody on here is expecting news coming up. So maybe the entire study results. Phase 2/3, maybe FDA approval, right? That's the next catalyst at potential FDA approval.
I mean, these guys have been obviously investing for a while, right? And so if there's been splits going on, me personally, like no
Yeah.
interest. I
Last
mean,
patient out July
sounds good,
19th.
but
So I think the top line result came out, but the entire results, like the way the FDA views it, it's with the FDA now. So I guess that's like the real news we're waiting for.
yeah.
Collaborations with US, Europe, and Canadian suppliers for ramp up. Positive top line data for the phase two.
I mean,
Okay, for the
I
phase
really like
two.
what they're doing with like the what how you say opaganib.
Yeah,
I really like it. I like, they're really considering, the inconvenience of the shot, right? At least for some people. Because me personally, like I like the idea of oral because if for whatever reason I have a bad reaction, I can just stop it, right? It's
exactly.
not
And it's
officially in
just
my
a pill.
system. Yeah. So, stuff like that. I like that, right? Because I mean, at least we're looking at other therapies outside of just the vaccine. But um, investment wise, I don't necessarily like what I see when
Dilution.
these people are like
But you get that in all
legislative
these
photos.
biotechs, in a lot of these biotechs. So I figured out global phase 2-3 study completed. The positive top line data is from the phase 2 study. So the big one is the phase 2-3, which is in the hands of the FDA now. So
Yeah.
let's see. Let's go to the end and see
What
what
do
they
you
have to
think,
say.
Chris?
Yeah, Chris, what are you thinking?
Did
I mean,
it
in terms of
change your
what?
mind?
Did you cancel your order yet?
Yeah.
No, I've rethought it and I'm back on board.
And back on.
Hey, this is why we get some thumbs down, guys. We're not all in on like the stuff we
Well, we
look
know
at.
Monica would have been all in on this.
Well,
Yes,
I'm gonna say,
Monica would be
yeah,
Yeah.
all in on
Monica's super
that.
positive. She's all in on everything.
Yes.
She
But
always ends up in green. Always.
Somehow. So yeah, I mean that's it. You guys can look through the presentation. Stock actually kind of did. Let's go through. I could see the full screen. Oh no, trading view. Trading view.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to join this. Okay, it's not letting me. Hold
Just
on.
go back to Yahoo. It's
Let's
better.
refresh. Let's refresh. Here we go. What? Six
So,
months?
I mean, you can look at the 6 months. It's fine. I mean, pretty much consolidation happening. Go to the I would say the 1 month. I mean the 5 day. Try the 5 day.
5 day.
There's a lot of breakage.
Yeah, I
again,
Yeah.
don't
your
know.
chart's not set up well.
You guys
Yeah.
like trading
It's
view?
no, it's because I think it's because you don't have the membership and because you don't get as the types of perks that you would get with the actual.
Let's go tried and true Yahoo.
Okay.
They don't do that stuff.
Mm-mm.
Five
Okay.
day.
So
Five
yeah.
day.
All right. So it's a bunch of there's a lot of volatility. That's interesting for the past few days. I'm wondering why. This is probably just due to trading. Um,
Anticipation of the FDA. I think it's
yeah, but
the
even then, I mean, there would be more of a trend with the anticipation of the FDA, but it's just really volatile throughout the past
Well,
few
the
5 days.
low is what, about $7 and the high is 750, something like
Hmm.
that, over the last 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, is there a way to click volume here? Because it could also be dependent on, the time if this was during like London trading or um Asia trading, the Asian market. So let's
volume.
see. Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, you're asking me too much already.
Yeah, sorry.
Uh,
No, okay, so we can go ahead and
But
go
you
to
can
the
see the
1 day.
MACD there. I mean, the
Yeah.
volume.
So
Well,
I mean, MACD's it's pretty much going to stay the same. Honestly, again, like what I had mentioned on the previous video is just that with like biotechs, right, especially if they're small, it's a lot less as to the way you would consider looking at things when you're looking at forex or like stocks that are really huge. There's a lot more that plays into factor as opposed to this. This is a lot more of just the bag holders or actual traders that are going based off of the overall like volume that's happening or news that's coming out, right? So again, through these past few days, you can see all this volume that's happening, all this volatility. So I'm pretty sure that
yeah,
if there's going to be news in the next sorry start in the next like 2 to 3 weeks, expect it to be very sketchy. I would say so.
yeah.
Unless anything bad comes out in between that time frame,
or
then you might see a drop.
or potentially really good,
Oh yeah, but I'm saying if it's really good news, I mean, obviously you're gonna ride a really high wave.
right? And Dan, I'm going to give a quick plug. You and I both need to finish Johnny Bravo's class.
Johnny
Yes.
Bravo.
Yeah, we need to finish this class so it can read charts better.
So RedHill, so they're gonna look for emergency use authorization, I guess, before, because the FDA is probably gonna want another phase 3 study before they actually approve it. But I think the good news could be the emergency use authorization for hospitalized people, is what I'm reading. Like as you're analyzing the chart, is what I was reading.
Okay.
So they think it might get approved for emergency use.
I think
Which
that's
is
like the bullish case. Like that would be what
Okay.
would happen first.
and which is what I said, right? Because it right now
Yes.
what they're pushing is mainly like vaccines on a because those are already out. Those there's taxpayer money in that, like all sorts of things going on in that. Like they need to utilize that. Um, but it makes more sense to make the treatments more viable to those that are in the hospital. So I do see it if obviously it gets the go from the FDA, I do see it being used heavily in the hospitals and ERs and stuff.
Yeah. So I guess
Well,
that's
shoot,
it.
just give everybody a bottle at home. You get sick, or take one a day. You
And
won't
where
get
are the
any sicker.
vaccines going, Chris? Where are the vaccines going? They're already paid
Well,
for.
Chris, in the United States, we're not smart enough to take care of ourselves. You need to go through your insurance provider, go
Ah,
to your doctor. They need to do it. Then you need to go to the pharmacy. Then the insurance has to kick in again. It doesn't just work like that, Chris. Not
so
in
I
the
Hmm.
can't go
United
to my
States.
doctor and say, "Give me a prescription. I want this on the shelf just in case."
Just thinking, Saint Tylenol, Chris.
Dr. Hazen would.
Ah, yeah, she
Yeah,
would.
this is true.
So good stuff, guys. So you're buying, selling, or holding?
Well, I
uh,
don't own any, so I'm not holding.
I
Rhetorical
mean,
question.
I like it. I like it, but I think that there's so much already happening with other therapies and vaccines right now. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it'll do great. I just don't know how much how great it could do with all these other therapies that are being pushed right now, to be quite honest.
So
Yeah, it's a gamble,
it'll,
especially when you combine all the dilution activities that people have been complaining about.
Hmm.
yeah, again, I don't know what their complaint is based on, but regardless, I think it's relatively safe. But again, depending upon the patents for the other products, I
I
don't
mean,
think you're going to lose much of anything.
yeah, I do think that like if you invested super early, obviously, even if it just goes up 3, 4, $5, obviously that's a really great return on investment. But for people that are
That's
jumping in
great
on
right now.
FOMO,
That's
yeah,
a great right now. That'd be a what $3 increase would be almost 40%.
yeah, I know. I've been in crypto too long. Like I keep thinking about. I'm used to those percentages. Sorry.
Yeah, no, 40% of the stock is very good.
Yeah, yeah. But yes, that's true. That's true. I will give you that.
Not 40% in one day,
Yeah. Yeah,
or
right.
100% in one day,
And what do
which you
you
see
think, Dan?
occasionally.
Mm.
I don't know what I think, honestly. I actually, like, for once, don't have an opinion on. I would be neutral. I think if you can gamble, if you think there's gonna be like a EUA or FDA is gonna say, okay, well, you're approved to do like a phase 3, and we'll give you temporary EUA in the meantime. But then
Yeah,
what
that would
that's
be
going to be
huge.
followed up with more dilutive activity,
Yeah.
as has been the history from what I've seen so far. So I don't
Well,
know.
at least from the
I don't know.
complaints.
I know what Monica thinks. She doesn't even need to be here.
I know she. I love it. I love it. I just bought it. I love Monica.
But
Yeah,
again,
she just bought it.
Hmm.
see, I don't necessarily follow these comments because, again, like I was explaining
You
earlier,
have to though. We're in the era of meme stocks.
wait, if you split 2 to 1 and it doesn't decrease in value by any more than 50%, you lost nothing.
Well, I don't think they do like splits. I think they issue warrants and things like that and options where like people can buy it for cheaper and then it gets more shares created. And they don't do
Mm.
splits at this stage.
Well, an option, you're not creating more shares. You're
No, they do all of it, but they don't do splits at this stage of like market caps. They just issue more shares,
uh,
is what they do.
okay.
So
Well,
they
yeah,
don't
that's
like take.
that's bad. Just issuing shares, but I thought they couldn't do that
They
once
can.
once
They
you're
can.
regulated.
No, they can. They can do that. For biotechs, it's considered acceptable because there's like it's high growth. For like,
Okay.
I mean, if like established company would do that, it'd be terrible. Like a GE,
But but
can you
the
imagine?
SEC allows this. You can just
Yeah,
release shares.
yeah. There's like ways to do it. This is why we need one of the experts on here. But it happens all the time. I follow. Look at Chem Farm is a perfect example of like constant dilution warrants, and every good news is followed by something like that, like more dilutive. This is how they raise money to fund their. The bullish argument is they need the cash without taking on debt, to finance their future pipelines. A lot of people see this COVID stuff as like, okay, this is like guaranteed money so we can invest in the other stuff we have. Because this
Mhm.
company wasn't created to fight COVID. This is just something they saw like opportunity.
Sure.
None of these companies were created to fight COVID.
Especially
Yeah.
now, everybody's realizing that COVID's kind of here to stay in a sense, right?
Yes.
So, and research is booming because of it. So it's that, magic word. And so, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
So which one of
yeah.
you knows the most about warrants? Explain that.
Uh, that's not really into like the
We need
trading
a warrants
aspect.
expert.
Yeah.
We need a warrants expert on the show. Let us know in the comments.
And we'll
We'll
have you
figure it
on.
out. We'll figure it out. We've only been doing this 6 months. So thank you guys. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. And we'll catch you all later. And I'm going to do like a 5-minute video on my channel about this because I don't know. Maybe I can make up my opinion after I do my video. I don't know yet. Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.